Former President Donald Trump had told former Vice President Mike Pence during a meeting that he was just too honest to aid him in destroying democracy. This is, of course, after Pence had declined using the power that he actually doesn't have to stop the certification of the 2020 election. It's according to Pence's new book, which again, Mike Pence is going to tell the most flattering side of this story that he can. And so, in an excerpt published by the Wall Street Journal on Wednesday, it details how Trump was trying to convince Pence to use that non existent authority to stall the certification of the 2020 election so that Trump's allies could put into place fake electors. Now, these fake electors in battleground states, obviously not the real electors, but would vote for Donald Trump specifically in order to get him over in the Electoral College. So now, describing a conversation on New Year's Day 2021, Pence writes that he and Trump had discussed a lawsuit filed by Republicans. It's the Louis Gohmert lawsuit, right? Louis Gohmert. Asking a judge to declare that the vice president had, quote, exclusive authority and sole discretion to decide which electoral votes should count. So basically, what he wanted Pence to do is to go through and, do this certification count and then get to certain states, battleground states, and say, okay, we've heard reports of voter fraud, and so we're just going to set these aside. We're going to set this aside. We're going to let this, we're going to come back to that later, okay? And then he's going to say, well, you know what? It turns out that these electors, they don't really count. So you know what? We're going to let the state legislatures get more electors, certain electors, and those electors would just so happen to gavel in Trump. Or, of course, there are other things that they suggested, other plans, like it going to, Republicans for them to vote on, which, of course, they assumed would vote to keep President Trump into office or in office. And so that was all part of the Eastman plan. Okay, so that was John Eastman, who was one of Trump's lawyers. So now, during this meeting on New Year's Day, Pence said that Trump told him that if the suit gives him the power, why would you oppose it? Now, that's Trump 101. Idiot, if somebody gives you the power, why don't you just use it? I mean, what are you, a dummy? Are you a dum-dum? Are you stupid? Somebody hands you power, you take it. I don't care about democracy. I don't care. No, I'm going to take the power. Again, he's a fascist. Now, Pence told him, he says, as I had many times, that I didn't believe I possessed that power under the Constitution. Now, that's true. Again, he doesn't have that authority. No vice presidents had that authority. Joe Biden did not have that authority when he was vice president in 2016. And if it were true that, the establishment, the deep state, everybody wants to stop Donald Trump, well, then they couldn't they have just used that authority in 2016 to stop Trump from winning the election or certifying the election and then just putting in Hillary Clinton? It's a ridiculous idea. That's not how it works. By the way, they would also be admitting that Kamala Harris now also has that power. Again, she does not. So, Trump responded with this, and this is, again, interesting. Quote, you're too honest. Hundreds of thousands are going to hate your guts. People are going to think you're stupid. Well, I mean, did that turn out to be somewhat true? Yeah. People do really hate Mike Pence's guts. And I'm not just saying from the left. No, MAGA chuds. They despise Mike Pence now. Again, they literally were chanting, hang Mike Pence on January 6th. Not hang my pants. No, hang Mike Pence. They were furious with him. And so, but again, getting back to Trump, if you get the power, why wouldn't you use it? It's exactly what he would do. He knew he didn't win. That's an admission, by the way. that he doesn't care about democracy, and that he knows that he didn't win the election. Again, didn't care, didn't give a damn, and perfectly fine with letting his supporters threaten to murder the vice president because the vice president did not do the theft that he wanted him to do. So now Pence also wrote about a call with Trump on the morning of January 6th, which was not so cordial, which Trump has widely been described as calling the vice president a quote unquote pussy. Pence writes, "The president laid into me. You'll go down as a wimp. If you don't block certification, I made a big mistake 5 years ago." Again, total meltdown from a fascist baby. That fit nearly got Pence killed by a mob. Now, that said, Mike Pence is a coward. And so, look, he never testified to the January 6th committee. And of course, there will no longer be a January 6th committee. I mean, regardless of whether or not Democrats retain the House, the original committee is sunsetting anyway. So if Republicans do end up taking the House, well, that committee is never coming back. So, but that said, he never testified to the committee. And it's because he still wants to walk a line. He wants power. Mike Pence wants to run. Now, look, he's trying to thread the needle with Trump voters and to get the side of the establishment of Democrats, of course, that are not in favor of Trump, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work. As I said before, Trump voters, Mike Pence, they hate you. They hate your guts. Trump's right about that. They do. Nobody cares about Mike Pence. The left hates Mike Pence. The right wing hates Mike Pence. Everybody hates Mike Pence. Look, they're desperately trying to push Trump overboard. The establishment is. But they want DeSantis. They do not want Mike Pence. He's got no chance whatsoever of winning in a Republican primary. He's done. His political career is over.